Hi, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. I'm Sam. Nice to meet you. How are you guys doing? Hopefully fabulous. We are doing a Hoya video today, y'all. I have not talked about Hoyas in so long, it feels like. I really don't think I have actually sat down and showed you guys any of my Hoyas in a really good minute, like a hot second. So I have a few of them we're going to talk about today. I'm going to be showing you guys some of the Hoyas from my collection that are currently ranking pretty high on my favorite list. Some of them are my favorites lists because they are growing really well. Some of them I just think are beautiful. Some of them are just super cute. And some of them maybe weren't doing so well before and now they are. So there's different reasons as to why each one of these Hoya made my favorites list. Now I did recently film my spring favorites just with random houseplants, and I purposely excluded all of my Hoyas except for one because I had a little inkling that I might want to film this video. I didn't want to be too repetitive. So if you're a Hoya head like myself, then stick around because I think you're gonna like today's video. Alright, let's jump right on in. So the first Hoya I wanted to show you guys is this little cutie, and this is Hoya Fisheriana. This is definitely a Hoya that didn't do anything at all for me for the first year that I've had her. She didn't do anything at all for me for the longest time, but I had her in a little tiny terracotta pot. I think she was just drying out way too fast. Since we moved, she's especially taken off. She put off a couple different new leaves. This is her newest right here. Look how cute it is. And then she also shot off this tendril right here just since we moved. I think she's pretty happy where she's currently living. I think this Hoya is really beautiful. It's almost a neon green. It's a very light colored green and it has very subtle veination going down through the leaves. I love the new leaves when they come in. They typically do have some red or purple color to their leaves. I switched her over to this ceramic planter and she was very happy. She immediately started to thank me. There's another new leaf right there that I actually did not see until just now. How cute is that? But yeah, she started to thank me by pushing new growth. So I think it was just a pot issue, to be honest, an underwatering issue. She's very cute, so she's definitely one of my favorites. I've been paying a lot more attention to this one as of recently because I'm just so excited every time I see a new little leaf pop in. I love her. So this is my little Hoya Sunrise. She's so cute. She as well just really started actively growing. She didn't really do a whole lot for the longest time. She's getting direct morning sun now in my kitchen window and she is finally growing. So she actually shot off this new tendril right here, and you can see all of these leaves coming in here are brand new. This Hoya is really interesting because the leaves on this one come in very thin. I mean, a lot of plants do that, but with a lot of my Hoyas, I've noticed that they typically come in pretty thick. But this one, the leaves come in very, very thin, and they actually get quite thick over time. These leaves may actually not look that thick, but they are. They almost feel like cardboard. It's kind of weird. But I have definitely been trying to sun stress her leaves. You can see these two leaves are fairly new. She has had them for a little while, and then we have these two leaves as well. I love her. I can't wait until she is much fuller one day because this plant is just so beautiful. I think she looks super adorable in this little teal planter. This is another Hoya that I'm super proud of, and this is Hoya IML 1398. I always forget the names of these number Hoya, but this one's really cool. I actually got this off of a Facebook buy-sell trade site. Again, this one didn't do anything at all for me for a very long time, and I had it in a humidity box under a grow light and everything, and it wouldn't grow. It wouldn't shoot out any new growth, nothing, nada, zilch. And then we moved here and I put her in a window where she gets some pretty good natural sunlight and she started to grow. So she shot off this tendril here. As you can see, that is brand new, and she also shot off this little leaf here, which is so cute. This one is really interesting. The new leaves on it. This Hoya has a really unique look to it anyway. It has a unique texture too. It feels pretty cool, but the veining on this one is super prominent, and it also has a little bit of a ruffle around the leaf itself, which I think adds a whole lot of character to this Hoya in particular. Yeah, the new leaf has ruffle, it has veins, and it also has splashes of that red color. Really neat looking, and I'm pretty anxious to see the new leaves that it's going to put out on this. So keeping my fingers crossed. It's still actually in the same exact pot and potting medium that it was sent to me in, believe it or not. So it may actually appreciate a repot. We'll see. I have a lot of stuff that I have been repotting and that I still need to repot now that spring is here, so we're probably going to be doing a few plant maintenance repotting videos in the future. But yeah, this one is just really cool and I'm just excited. I guess you could say this one really didn't care for the grow light. It could tell the difference, because as soon as I gave it bright natural sunlight, that's when it started to grow. This one is really cool. Definitely a favorite. I am gonna pick like one that's like probably at the top of my favorites list. This might be it, because oh my god, this one is just so freaking awesome, y'all. This is Hoya Bourdainii, and I've only had her a couple of months, but oh my god, she is so cool. And I actually didn't know that I would love this Hoya as much as I do whenever I ordered it. I got this from Unsolicited Plant Talks. You can see this one has these long, slender leaves. It's just very, very different from most of the other Hoyas that I collect. These two leaves here are both her newest leaves, and I love it because they are clearly longer and larger than all of her previous leaves. So she was a pretty small little dinky baby when I got her. Something about that, like, that's just one thing I've noticed with smaller Hoyas like this, or if you get like rooted cuttings or just baby Hoya plants in general, a lot of times whenever I get them shipped to me, they do take a while to acclimate and just kind of start taking off and becoming their own and growing into full plants. So definitely something that I've noticed, but it's not a problem for me at all, because once they do start taking off, it's like you wait and wait and wait to see signs of new growth, and you're like, oh man, it's never gonna happen. When is it gonna grow? Is it ever gonna grow? And then eventually they just start to grow. It's really fun. It's a really fun part. Maybe I just tell myself it's fun because I have absolutely zero patience. It's like the number one thing that collecting houseplants has taught me: patience. I've never had patience. I'm actually quite surprised and pleased that this little Hoya didn't actually make me wait too long to start giving me new growth. Yeah, I've only had her a couple months, and she pretty much after like a month of being in my home started shooting off this little tendril here, and then before you know it, there was two new little baby leaves coming in, and now they're larger than all of her other leaves. And you can see I do have her under a grow light, so her leaf does also have some of that purple sun stressing going on, and it's beautiful. I live for that when it comes to Hoyas. Like I'm actively trying to sun stress pretty much all of my Hoyas at this point in time. Really, really beautiful, and I have her planted in this super cute little ceramic planter. I think it looks really cute with her. This is definitely one that I look at every single day, like no doubt about it. She's set somewhere that I can easily see her and view her, so yeah, I'm constantly looking at her. Hoya Bourdainii, absolutely love this one. I have one that's a little bit wonky. So this is my Hoya Affinis. Again, another one that didn't do anything for me. I take that back, I'm lying, it did. Okay, so if you take a peek right here in her midsection, if you will, she attempted to put off leaves so many times, y'all, and she would drop them. Like, they would pop out and they would be so tiny and cute, and I would cross my fingers and be like, okay, this is it. And a couple days later, they would be gone. They vanished. She just would drop them. Sometimes Hoyas, whenever they're not happy, or if you're underwatering them, they will let you know by dropping, completely murdering all of the baby leaves that come in, and it's quite traumatizing, I will tell you now. You will see that it's very bare all the way up to the tip top here. So I repotted her a few months ago into a ceramic planter. She was also in a terracotta. She hated it. Yeah, she had two leaves come in here, dropped them, here, dropped them, here, dropped them, all the way up. Probably like four to six different sets of new leaves come in that she dropped as soon as she spit them out. And I was like, oh my god, this plant, I almost sold this plant, to be honest with you, because I was so over it. And I didn't want to, because this one's also super interesting. Like, it's just very different. The leaves on the Affinis are a lot more thin than a lot of other Hoyas. They're also a different shape. I quite enjoy the shape of these leaves, actually. And they're also just the slightest bit furry. I don't know what it is, but if you touch them, I don't know, they just feel just a little tiny bit furry, and I definitely appreciate that about this Hoya. But since I gave her this ceramic planter and moss pole, her leaves are coming in just fine. I guess it's safe to say she's finally happy, but I am a little bit concerned. You can see she has 2 new leaves right there and 2 more coming out on the tip there. I'm a little bit concerned that she may start dropping leaves if I don't get an extension or a larger support pole in here, so I definitely have to get on that. So many of my plants are needing bigger moss poles. I need to do it. But she's growing relatively fast now that she's really taken off, and I'm super proud of her. Also, her new leaves, when they come in, they're actually shiny. So it's like they're a little bit furry, but they're also a little bit shiny. You kind of get a little bit of everything with this Hoya. Aside from the red color, she was in direct sun. She's always been in direct sun, and I don't think I've ever seen this plant produce a sun-stressed leaf, not even the babies. So I don't really think it's possible to sun-stress this Hoya, but and it's probably just because it is a thinner leafed foliage type, so that could be why. I'm very happy that I didn't end up selling her when I was contemplating it. Okay, we have a couple more left. So this is my little Hoya Bella, and she was in my Hoya collection video. I talked about in that video how I was struggling with her, and she wasn't growing for me. My friend Fern actually reached out, and she said she had had a similar issue with this plant, and she discovered that it really does not like to be underwatered. But yeah, I put it in just a little bit bigger of a pot, and I upped my watering schedule with this girl, and lo and behold, she has just taken off. I mean, this was one small little vine whenever I got it. So I'm very pleased with how she's doing now that she's taken off, because I was just confused. I've always heard that the Hoya Bella was a pretty fast grower and a relatively easy plant. So I was like, what am I doing wrong here? So I was very, very grateful for that little tip, that little bit of advice from Fern, because it quite possibly saved my Hoya. It definitely made her a lot happier. You can see she has just shot off all of these different little vines off of the main one there. This one is the longest. I really like the way these leaves come in. I like how small and dainty they are. The shape of them is also really neat. This is another one that I don't really think you can sun stress, because again, it's a thinner leafed type of Hoya. But yeah, she has shot off all of these different tendrils, and she does look a little funky because she only has one base stem. So I am going to be I think taking a few smaller cuttings from this Hoya and propagating to put back in the pot to make her a little bit more full and encourage her to maybe shoot out some new vines from the center of the pot. We're going to do a propagation video really soon as well, so I think I'm going to save it for that. Another problem, her leaves were wrinkling up and drying up and falling off like constantly, and she wasn't replacing them with any new leaves. So I was pretty concerned about it for the longest time, but it turns out all she really needed was just more water. Lesson learned with this babe, but isn't she just the cutest, even with her funky self? This is my little Hoya Irina. Again, didn't do anything for me. I guess I could say I've had probably, out of all of the genuses that I collect, I probably had the most struggle with Hoyas, and I haven't really killed very many of them. But by struggle, I just mean like they don't do anything. It's basically like having a fake plant, because it's like they just wouldn't do anything for so long. Many of my Hoyas just sat there and never grew, or they would put off leaves and drop them, and I just kind of got accustomed to that. Like, that's just what I expected out of many of these different varieties that I have. It's just they can be a little bit finicky, but I do appreciate that they never died on me. They definitely let me know they weren't happy. They didn't grow, but they didn't die on me. So this is like a really rugged type Hoya. That's the word that comes to mind whenever I think of Hoya Irina. I'm sure you can tell why. A lot of the leaves just look a little bit funky. So this is a super thick leafed Hoya. Feels very much like cardboard. She has started to grow for me finally. Again, we moved and she's getting better light and she's happy now. So this was a newer leaf right here. If you can see, I'm dropping soil everywhere. And then this is her newest leaf here, and it does have a little bit of the purple splotching in it, but not as much as I would like. So, you know, still continuing to try and get sun-stressed leaves on all of them that I can. I can say the new leaves on this one, we did come in that reddish purple color, but it's just kind of faded as it's gotten bigger. Now, this one is pretty cool because I don't even know what kind of leaf shape this is. Like, this one down here is more like an obovata, so it's more circular. These ones are more oblong, And then this one's just like, I have no idea what it's doing. It's kind of got a ruffle around the leaf, which none of the other leaves really have, so I think that's pretty interesting. It also has some pretty funky veination, even on the backs of the leaves. Very cool. This one also has some splashy on it. Does it not just kind of look rugged to you guys? It reminds me of like dinosaur skin. I don't even know why I say that. It just has that rugged, rough look to it. Little Irina. Okay, y'all, this is my Abovada. I love him so very much. It just honestly depends with him. Like sometimes he will take off and put off several leaves back to back, and then he'll decide he wants to take a break for a couple months and not really put off any new growth. I'm totally fine with that. I have no issues with that. I just let him do his thing. I love him so much, but I can tell you, this is definitely a Hoya that every time I see one of these new little round chubby leaves poke out, I get so excited. So yeah, this was just a teeny tiny little guy whenever I had gotten him, and this was, I think, one of the first Hoyas that I ever got aside from my Snowball and my Surrey-Joensis and my Hoya carnosa Princess. I am obsessed with this guy. I am a sucker for round leaves, guys. Round, thick, chubby leaves. They got my heart 100%. So this was a new leaf right here, and it did come in a very bright red color, kind of like the Australis. It was the cutest leaf ever, y'all. So he just decided to shoot off this little piece of stem here and give me the most perfect little round leaf with the cutest splashing on it. Like, this one's really cool because a lot of times the splashing comes in and it actually looks pink. I don't know if it's because the leaves come in red. The splashing does look like a very light pastel pink color sometimes. It's gorgeous. Now, he probably actually would grow a lot faster if I would just go ahead and up his pot. He's been in this tiny little hanging basket for so long. I think he looks so cute hanging in this though, so I can't bring myself to repot him, but he's definitely very crowded and crammed down in here, so probably going to end up doing that if not this spring, this summer. So you gotta love an Abovada. I feel like everyone who collects Hoya, this has to be one of their favorite plants because they're just so easy, and who doesn't love a round Hoya leaf? I do. I don't so much care for the Carrii, which I have grown for a couple of years now, and yeah, it's not my favorite. I've definitely found that I much prefer the round leaves in comparison to those heart-shaped leaves. So yeah, Opie is doing well. He's growing pretty well all in all, and he's fabulous. I love him. It's the cutest plant. If you look here, guys, I do have my Hoya Australis Lisa, but because I showed her in a favorites video, I'm not going to spend much time here, but I had to include her because she absolutely is one of my favorites. This was my #1 wishlist Hoya for God knows how long. So of course she's one of my favorite Hoyas of all time, and she's growing so fast. Like, very proud of her, but I've talked about her a lot lately, so we're not going to spend too much time there. This is Hoya Surrey-Joensis. I had a very large plant of this, but for whatever reason, I wanted more wishlist plants, okay? I sold the base of the plant. I took this cutting, sold the base of the plant with the roots, and then I rooted the cutting. Now I have a baby plant of it, so I don't really have any regrets with that because, you know, it's fine. I still have the plant. It's just not nearly as big as it once was, but I love Hoya Surrey-Joensis. This is a very large leafed Hoya. It's another one that has kind of like the lime green leaves, and yeah, these leaves have the potential to get quite big. It's very, very cool. It's a very fun one in my opinion. These leaves do also, given enough light, come in the reddish purple color. They're super cute, and then they have this veination on the leaves. Love that. So this is a newer leaf right here. Still has a little bit of the red color on the back of the leaf here. Not too much though, it's pretty well faded away at this point, but I'm pretty sure this is the newest leaf, and this is the leaf that came in right before that. You can tell it's just a little bit more shiny, whereas these ones are a little bit more dull looking. Still beautiful though. I potted her up in this little purple mermaid planter with this gold flaking on it. She just looks so pretty. I don't know, I love this Hoya paired with this pot. I think it looks so nice, especially when the new leaves come in and they're like reddish purple. And I'm actually noticing some new growth in the middle of the pot right now. So there's another new leaf coming in. I'll try to get some up close footage for you guys, but there's another new leaf coming in right there, and it's just itty bitty, so we're not going to pay it too much mind because I don't want to stress it out and make it drop that leaf. So, but yeah, Surrey-Joensis for sure made this list as well. This little itty bitty cutie thing is Hoya Feechii. This was a huge wishlist Hoya as well as the Australis Lisa for a long time, And when I ordered this, I actually thought it was going to be quite a bit bigger, but the seller messaged me and told me she didn't have one as big as the picture, and she refunded me a little bit of my money back because the plant she was sending me was smaller than the one pictured. So I originally thought this would have like larger leaves, but it's totally fine. I got a refund. I got a discount on it, so totally fine with it. I haven't had it very long, only maybe 3 months now at this point, but it's really cute, and it took a little while to get acclimated and start growing for me, but I just literally noticed this a couple of days ago. It is finally growing for me, so it is pushing out this new little leaf right here. Again, I don't want to touch it because I don't want to tick it off. That is the first leaf that it is giving me since coming into my care, so I'm going to take that as it's very happy with me and content with the conditions that it's currently living in. And I do have this in terracotta, which isn't a great idea. I'm not sure why I even did that, but it's actually in sphagnum moss. It was shipped to me. I think it was shipped to me in sphagnum moss, maybe. I'm not sure why I even put it in sphagnum moss, but I did. And I keep it pretty moist. Like, I'll water this one every couple of days just to keep the moss kind of damp, so it doesn't dry out too much, especially now that it's pushing out a new leaf. But yeah, this one, when the leaves get bigger, they're especially beautiful because of that white veination. It feels really soft, so it has an interesting texture as well. I cannot wait to see the Ficii whenever it gets a little bit bigger. I think it's going to be beautiful when its leaves are larger and more mature, but yeah, I am obsessed with this one mainly for the veination. I love a veiny Hoya, so this one's on my favorites at the moment because, again, it didn't take too long to acclimate and start to grow and do something. It didn't make me wait a year to get this new leaf. I'm pretty pleased with that. I think that's just about going to do it for my current favorite Hoyas. Let me know what your favorite Hoyas are currently. Which ones from my collection do you like the most? And also, guys, let me know if you'd be interested in seeing an updated Hoya collection. I did have a little bit of a difficult time because I wanted to include more of my Hoyas because I have a lot more that I'm really, really loving. I have several larger pots of Hoya, I have a lot of common Hoya, and then I have more uncommon Hoya. I haven't really shared much on my channel, so yeah, let me know. Maybe in the future we can do a full-on Hoya collection video where I just sit down and show y'all every single one of the Hoyas that I'm currently growing and collecting. So yeah, let me know if y'all want to see that. But other than that, I think that is gonna do it. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out, watching this video. I appreciate y'all more than you know, like seriously. I will see you guys very soon in my next video. I love you guys. Bye.